This is lesson 2. In lesson 1, we defined the building perimeter with this rather massive 2'4" thickness wall whose finished face exterior is aligned with the exterior of the building. If I turn wireframe on, I can see that that's where these walls currently live. So I made it that massive because I'm going to use the bottom 2 or 3 feet of it as a sill that continues around the entire building. And I think you'll see as I develop this why I have done that. Okay, so there's my 3D view of what I have so far and the array of columns inside it. Now what I'm going to start doing is creating the intervals of the curtain wall that are between these exterior articulated column locations. So let's go to floor plan level 1. By default, Revit architecture is the view control bar indicates that the visual style is hidden line, which means my walls are occluding a view of the CAD drawing below. So I need to change that to wireframe so I can see through my AutoCAD file. Okay. Curtain wall. If I were just working in 3D and I selected a wall type of this curtain wall storefront, and I started drawing that, it would give me a default set of a default height, base constraint and top constraint, a default spacing, and grid divisions of mullions that are already drawn into place, right? And it has the thickness of the mullions, and then the glass panels in between. So my chore is going to be to take and automatically embed a curtain wall of this type or similar in the intervals where they belong in the exterior walls here. Okay, I may use this type and then modify its properties to suit, and I'll explain that afterwards. So I'm going back to level 1 floor plan, and I'm going to select wall, and let's go ahead and select that curtain wall storefront. But we're going to place some constraints on this. First, we're going to look at the edit type and make sure that the functionality is to automatically embed within a wall if I draw it within a wall. So I'm going to draw it within this 2'4" wide exterior perimeter wall. Okay. Base offset I'm going to set at 2 feet. Why 2 feet? Because let's see. Let's measure, for example, with an aligned dimension distance from that sill 1 foot 9.5. So that's why 2 feet. I'm going to make believe that's our sill. Go back to architecture wall. I'm drawing base offset at 2 feet. My top constraint up to level 2, but I'm going to make the top offset minus 3 feet. So I'm going to say the wall's only going to go up to 3 feet below what I think the elevation of level 2 is. I'm in wireframe mode. I can now start drawing. Let's just draw where I can clearly see start and end points. of that wall. So you see that I drew between those two columns that interval. Between these two columns, that interval. Hit the escape key each time. Between these two columns, there's some kind of vertical element representation, and then finally between these two. So let's see what I've done in 3D. It changes back to hidden line. That's what I've done. Right? Let's make this shaded so it sort of, sort of stands out what I've created here. And let's select. So basically, I embedded instances of the curtain wall inside my super thick exterior wall. Let's do a little more of this. It's going to get trickier in the where we have this profile, this little recess behind the column here. So let's go to level 1 and think about how we want to draw that. I want to continue to draw a curtain wall. Go architecture wall, curtain wall storefront. Let's start here and draw not quite all the way to what appears to be another structural vertical element there. Okay, so that's giving me, and now the thickness of our wall is really sort of hitting home here because it drew up to there. I'm going to continue to draw. Actually, what I should have done there, let me undo what I did. What I should have done here is just draw until I have some intersection. There we go. Giving me the feedback line. And then draw along that edge. And then draw that way. It's probably going to be pretty messy. But we can fix that afterwards. There. Don't know what's going on here, but looks like that's well. Let's go back to our 3D view and see what we've done so far. Okay, so that might have been a reasonable abbreviation of the system, along Exeter Street here, but in this little indentation, it may be that all we want is simply the curtain wall itself. And if we look at photographs of the store, if I go to the internet, and find 7-Eleven boylston, it's not pulling up much of anything. I'm connected remotely, so the performance here is going to be a little bit choppy. So the 24-inch sill works up to where the doors are. And where the doors are, that's probably just a straight curtain wall without the sill, so there's no advantage to embedding anything in there. So anyway, this is all refinement, so it's a way of thinking about, all right, what's going to be my strategy for dealing with that corner. And so I could start to do things, oops, I could start to do things like, all right, let me take that 2 foot 4-inch wall and remove it, right? And then we have, still we have the embedded storefront wall that's in there. Bring that down to the ground. Bring the top up a bit higher. And so we're coming up with a strategy of how we can model this sort of storefront condition. We're not worrying at this point about articulating the profile of the columns that are in between these intervals. Hopefully this is useful to you. So I'm saving these 2 lessons as an abbreviated sort of intro to how I'd work with the storefront in Revit using 711 Boylston.